And we are live on another edition of All In on High School Sports. Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti, how are you?
I'm well. Good evening. How are you?
I'm very good. We're feeling a lot better, back to normal. So excited. Big high school football week last week. Obviously, another big slate of games this week. We'll get into picks, a couple new segments later. But we have a couple guests tonight. Who we got coming on tonight?
We do. Well, we have a really big agenda. We are going to welcome Coach Tuero of Lyndhurst Football to the show this evening, and he's joined by three of his players. We'll introduce them to you as well when we bring them on. And we're going to do a little week 2 recap, some quick hitters from week 2, right? We're going to do a new little bit where we talk a little about some other week 3 games coming up. Then we're going to pick our usual slate of week 3 games as well.
And we got one more segment tonight too.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll get into that's a fun one. Where
Yeah.
what we're gonna do is we picked one game and we're gonna do a little pregame, like we're the head coach, and we're gonna give like our pregame speech. So I'll take one team, she'll take another, and so she'll be fired up. She's trying to get out of it, but she's gonna do it tonight.
We'll see. That's definitely your thing.
It is.
Before we get in and bring Coach and his players on, a couple of things. Number one, we want to thank our sponsors, Cafe Roma, and Red's Restaurant. We want to make sure we give them a shout out. Girls Got Game Flag Football, Modern Traveler. You screwed me up with that there.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to share.
Modern Travel Professionals and Smoky Beard. Rubs for your food. We also want to remind everybody that we've really expanded our content. So we have some other shows. Kurt and his friends at K&K have their usual Wednesday night show. Thursday, they've returned to Wits and Wagers. And then we've been doing some specific high school shows. So
with our high school
interns, yep, as the host. So we have a St. Mary's show on Wednesday with Gabby. She'll be bringing on the girls volleyball coach. We've got West Essex and girls soccer in the works, probably for the following week. Sean at Becton is looking to bring his linemen in, and we're still in the works with Nutley and Kearney trying to get
and listen, and any other high school, hey, it could be all in on any school. We'll
100%.
just, if there's any interns out there that want to work with us behind the scenes, live on air, and we'll cover specifically your school. So again, anyone,
because our goal is to cover as many schools, coaches, programs, student athletes as possible. And this new kind of specific shows with interns has really helped us get more coverage and more names out there. So that's really what the goal is behind that. Now, with that said, are we ready to bring in Coach?
Of course, let's bring them in.
All right, let's get everybody in here. I'll bring them in one by one. Once everybody's in the room, I will officially introduce them to our audience. Okay. And we are joined by Coach Rich Tuero. Coach has been at the helm of the Golden Bear program since 2014. And in 2019, they captured the North 1 Group 2 championship. His team competes in the Liberty division of the NJIC, and they are currently off to a 2-0 start with victories over Secaucus and New Milford so far this season. He is joined tonight by his players, Sean Bellinger, Roddy Marino, and Jake Herman. Welcome, Coach, and welcome, players.
I do not hear Coach.
But let's check out, make sure he's not muted there. Coach, can you guys hear, guys? Can you hear us? Can you just say something?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
You guys are good? All right, Coach's sound looks like maybe we had a little issue.
Okay, by the way, I'll start with some comments from Coach Breslin. Great job, you two. Keep up the great work. Kenny, good evening, everyone. Welcome, as always, to the greatest high school sports talk on earth. Michael Rizzo saying, I love you, Jake Herman. And we got a comment from a Mike E65 saying Golden Bears.
Coach, maybe you want to try to go out and come back in with your sound. Want to try that? I'll let you back in, maybe. Yeah, we can't hear you, though. Yeah.
You could bring him out and then bring him back in. So before we get to Coach, you want me to start with some of the players?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. While we're getting Coach, I'm going to start with Sean. Sean, last year as a sophomore, you played quarterback. You got some playing time. How much more comfortable are you this year since you had last year with the varsity experience?
Yeah, definitely. It was huge to get that first year of experience out of the way. And just from last year and now this year in the summer, I've worked a lot, watched a lot of film, even in the off season too, been throwing a lot. And it just helped me a lot that I did have that 1 year. So I feel like I'm a lot more mature, especially in the pocket too. So yeah, that 1 year of varsity experience definitely helped me a lot.
Okay, and Coach, and I'm sorry, Sean, I'm going to come back to you real quick while we're working on Coach. You're a dual threat quarterback. You could run it, you could throw it, and you have obviously a great running game. We'll get to Roddy in a couple minutes, but you have big play wide receivers, right? So you guys are. It seems like you're a run first team, physical team, and I'll get to that with Coach. But what that sets up is when you can run the ball, it's going to set up for big time plays, big time shots down the field. How important is it for you and your receivers to make those plays when you get those big time shots in the game?
No, yeah, definitely. You said it. I mean, we set up the passing game by running the ball. We pound the ball first down, second down, and then we set up our play action game. We take our shots down the field. And like you said, it's really important for our receivers, run the right routes, catch the rock, and they've been doing a good job of that so far. I have 5 touchdown passes on the year, looking to make that a lot more. And, yeah, they've been doing a great job of it.
Coach, we're just going to check your sound. Coach, are you?
Got me?
All right.
Awesome.
We
got him.
I'll let you go to Coach.
All right, I'm going to go back to Coach. So not only is he just head coach Rich Squirrel, he is social media sensation. I see this guy on TikTok, Instagram, blowing up feeds, dancing. I love when he dances with his daughters at home. So
Gotta get it going with my daughter, man.
This guy's a social media sensation. So, but 2-part question for you, Coach.
What do you got?
Why are you 2-0?
Why are we 2-0? Because we built a culture here, and it's a testament to these guys, man. It's all about the culture. I got to be honest with you, but it couldn't be done without the village, right? And these guys have bought in, and that's why we're 2-0. These kids have been working their tails off. When I tell you, we started the Monday after our season ended last year. It's real, and it's all starting to come out now. And like I tell these guys today, I told them today, we're far from done. We're just building our way up to get to where we need to be and reach our goals.
Before I get to the second part, we got a question from an M. Derico saying, good job, gentlemen. Second part, Coach, is watching you guys a lot. It seems like, and I'll start offensively, you want to be a very physical team. You guys do a lot of 2-back sets. Again, you guys do multiple stuff, but a lot of 2-backs. You run the ball, and I was just talking to Sean how it sets up the play action. Why is it important to be a physical team, and is that the kind of team you want to be?
Oh yeah, man! Old school football. I love pro style offense. Coach Artieri, our offense coordinator, loves it as well. We're all about being physical. I'm a lineman, man. I love the ground and pounding that rock, and then the play action over the top. It's the best way, and honestly, to me, it's the best offense in football. There's nothing better.
A couple comments. Anthony Pizzuti's checking in, saying, I'm here supporting boys. Justin Grasso saying, let's go, baby.
My next question is actually for you, Jake, and we're going to switch to a little defensive question. You guys shut out New Milford on Friday, and you've only allowed 2 touchdowns in 2 games. Can you describe the defensive mentality of this team?
We're just aggressive. We love to get after the ball. All like Coach Cass says, all 11 hats to the ball, and just tackle a guy with the ball. That's it. I mean, we're just a really aggressive group, and our goal is to shut out everybody. So
nice.
Okay, I'm going to go back to I'm sorry. You have.
I guess not. We're actually going in a row.
Yeah, going in a row.
Yeah, mixed up there. I'm going to go to Roddy next. Roddy, you saw some time as a freshman on varsity. As a sophomore, I think you had 12 touchdowns, and this year as a junior, you've already seen the end zone 5 times. I have a 2-part question for you. Right? What do you attribute your improvement from season to season? Number 1, and then number 2, how you deal with opponents knowing they need to stop you.
Well, first. The difference between the line, we have the same 5 guys we had last year. And within the year, they lifting and everything, they got so much stronger. They learned the game more. The reason for the success this year is because of them. And also, defenses have to worry about Sean and our receivers. It's not just me. They have to worry about everybody on the field at all times. It's not, hey, focus on number 8. It's focus on everybody. Everybody could score touchdowns. Everyone could run the ball. Everyone could throw the ball. We're a great offense.
Nice. Very nice.
Our good friend Kenny Kirkpatrick. And guys, you got to watch because every week we make weekly picks, and obviously Kresko Lyndhurst will be on the slate tonight. But he's saying, Coach, I want to wish the team and you and your coaches the best of luck. For your information, I am part of the pick crew. And he said he's picked Lyndhurst every week. So
thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you, brother.
Anthony Pizzuti saying, great answers, Roddy. I'm going to go to Jake. And listen, the skill guys get all the highlights, right? All the newspaper stuff like that. But we all know that game is one up front, offensively and defensively. So do you guys feel if you win up front offensively and defensively, everything else will take care of it and you will win that game?
Absolutely. Game is one of the trenches. Everything. Like you can have, like we have a great passing game, but like Coach said before, it's you gotta establish the line of scrimmage. You gotta win the front. All 5 guys on offensive line. We do a great job. Shane, Mike, Connor, Nick, Abe when he's in. We all do a great job. We dominate who's in front, and we just go from there. So.
All right, my next question is for Coach. Coach, I got a 2-parter for you as well. First, I would like you to talk a little bit about these 3 players that have joined you tonight. And then secondly, would you highlight some other players that have had an impact for you this season so far?
Absolutely. Talk about these 3 guys. I'll be honest with you. Big Herm, Jake Herman. I keep saying it. He's been starting as a freshman lineman for me, left tackle, and he's playing D-line as well. He is the dude up front. He's running our offense as far as protections and our blocking schemes. He's telling guys all the way down to the other side of the line of scrimmage what to do. Other side of the line, rather. He's somebody that I'm going to miss dearly. I literally every day I look in and I appreciate and I thank God to have him because it's my guy, Big Herm. He's the man.
And by the way, Coach Butch Bellinger just said Big Herm in the comments.
Big Herm, baby. Butch knows. Shawnee and Roddy, I've known these 2 boys since they're really young, man. I remember watching them in junior football, and I couldn't wait to have them. Roddy is like a son to me. I know his father forever. I went to high school with his father, and I had the pleasure of meeting Sean and his family when he at a very young age. Not only are they great kids and great football players, but they're tremendous human beings. They were named captains as sophomores, and they earned that. It's not because of my relationship with the families or anything else. They earned it in the classroom. They earned it outside of the classroom. They earned it in the weight room. They earned it on the field. And I look to these kids, and I love them to death, To speak on other kids, one is commenting like crazy. I'm sure he would have loved to be in here, Mr. Pizzuti. He's a great kid, a great asset to our offense. I begged Anthony to play every single year since he's been in high school. He said no. This year I didn't ask him, and he joined, which was a pleasure. And he's quite the character. But let me tell you something. Once he figures it all out and he starts making these plays that we know he can make, he's going to be a problem for other teams. I really believe that. To speak on other guys, our line is all senior heavy. Connor Gill, Nick Adamo, Shane Keeler, Mike Longo is the only junior on the line. These guys are just the heart and soul of our team, and they paved the way. I tell the line all the time. So does our offense coordinator. You go, we go. We're going to go as far as the O-line takes us, and we put a lot of pressure on them, but we know they can handle it. I couldn't be more proud of the line I have this year. Quite possibly one of the best lines I've ever coached. A couple other names I could throw out there. Michael Rizzo, he's been a program kid. I know Michael forever. Same thing, his father, I know him. He's a middle linebacker for us, really good player. Daniel Mabandi, outside backer. We have, we have Anthony Amaro Jr. He's a D-back for us and also a wide receiver. The list goes on and on, man. We got a lot of great kids, and I'm not just talking about their ability on the field. I'm talking about human beings. Like I'm blessed to have the team I have. Just tremendous kids.
That's great, Coach. Thank you. And my next one's going to be to all the players. I have the same question for you guys. We had the pleasure of having Coach Tuero on our show and the entire staff, actually, after they won the 2019 state championship. So my question for you is, how motivating is it for you guys as players to know that this program boasts a recent state championship? And is that your goal before your time as a Golden Bear is through? Why don't we go Roddy, then Sean, and then Jake, or Big Herm?
So, in 2019, I filmed the end zone camera. I was filming since like 4th grade. So as
if you film, we might need some interns. You may you have to jump on with us. All in on Winter Sports. Let's go.
I I feel like I was a part of that team. I was there all the time at practice. I was at every game. I would dance with them after every win. I still look at videos of us all dancing together. And I believe the group that we have, our ultimate goal is to win that state championship and be able to do that again for our coaching staff, our town, everybody that supports us, because that's the ultimate goal. Everyone wants to hold that trophy up. Everyone wants to wear that ring. It's just a feeling that we all want to experience for ourselves. And with it happening in 2019, I think we could do it again. We have a great group of guys. We've been playing together since we were 4 years old. I think we could do it again, and that's the ultimate goal.
Nice. How about you, Sean?
Yeah, definitely. Just like Roddy has been saying, and Coach has been saying all year, it's the return to glory. Just like in 2019, you know, that's where it started. That's where our base has been set, and we have to repeat this year. That's our ultimate goal. A Group 2 championship at the end of the day. That's what we want. And I truly believe that we have the team to do it, and we have the guys to do it. We just got to execute, and, you know, we got to keep working.
And Jake.
Yeah, I mean, just Sean and Roddy said it, and Coach, return to glory. It's all we were looking for. We have the group. Like Roddy said, we've been playing with each other for, like since we were little kids. So like the chemistry is there. It's just all a matter of putting it together. And I think we have a really good, really good chance of doing it.
Nice.
Coach, I'll end with you. And we talked to a couple coaches, and we read a couple coaches, and they always say, when your division, you guys are a little different. You guys have like a conference championship for the NJIC and then a state title. What are your goals? Not just for this team, for like the next couple years, but obviously we'll start. We have this group. What's your goals for this group?
I got to be honest with you. We have, Kurt, I have 81 kids in the program, man. I mean, it's insane and it's awesome. But you ask these guys, our locker room is jam packed. It's unbelievable. So the program hopes are looking really high. You know, I said it in the paper earlier this season. It's not a hope to make the playoffs at Lyndhurst. It's an expectation, and that's a testament to the culture that's been built by my staff and my players. And I feel like we have the potential to do a lot of positive things here in Lyndhurst for the next couple of years, including, obviously starting with this year. And like the guy said, return to glory. I mean, that's the reality of it. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. It's really just the kids we have, the effort they're putting in, the staff I have. I truly believe that I have the best staff in New Jersey. I don't care who it is. I really feel that way. And honestly, we keep doing what we're doing. The Golden Bears ain't going anywhere, baby. I just keeping it real.
A couple comments from a Mikey saying Chipola, Perone, Tuero with exclamations.
Appreciate
And
that. That's an honor to be in those guys' names.
From a YouTube, Goofy Goober saying, let's FG, baby. I don't want to say it on there. We might get thrown off of YouTube tonight. But and then Kenny saying, for the young man who played varsity as a freshman, what were your thoughts when you were told you were going to play varsity as a freshman, playing side by side with everyone older than you?
That's you, Big Herm.
I mean, yeah, it was very intimidating. Like right out of halftime for Rutherford, I remember it. Like it was just like you're in. Like there's no I didn't really have any time to think about it. So you just kind of adapt and survive, and there you go. Just go from there.
That's it, man.
Couple more comments. Butch Bellinger, great job, boys and coach. Now let's go get a win versus Cresskill Thursday. Jonathan Rodriguez, return to glory. And Alora Castagnetti Napolitano, looking good, guys. Best of luck to you all.
Thank you, guys. That's awesome. We're really excited, and like Butch said, we got to get this one Thursday night, and then if we win this one, we've been playing Waldwick for the division championship. We haven't been there in a while, so we haven't won it since 2019, and the last one before that was 1998. So we need to. That's step one. That's only step one. It's the division, it's the conference, it's the section, and then the whole state. And those are the goals, and I truly believe we can attain those goals with this group. As long as we stay healthy and execute, the best is yet to come, baby.
And I can guarantee this, Coach, nobody else has a comment like this coming, because this is from a good friend of our other shows, Keith Brugman. He's saying, go Lyndhurst. I'm pulling for you guys out in Montana. So I don't think anybody else, I don't know if anyone else in Montana is rooting for you, but our good friend Keith Brugman is.
Let's go. I love it. Thank you, Keith.
All right, guys, before we let you go, we have a little quick segment we call rapid fire.
Ooh.
So we're just going to give you some more like quick paced questions. And you know what? We'll go Jake, Roddy, Sean, and then Coach, because that's kind of how you
Okay.
are on the screen.
All right. Favorite NFL football team.
Giants.
Dallas
All right. What? So if you
They
wait,
were good though. They were ready for the rapid.
yeah. So I'm gonna have a follow up. So Jake, you said Giants.
Yes.
Just real quick, 10 seconds or less. Thoughts on Sunday night.
Terrible. I turned it off at halftime.
Okay. Next.
Dallas Cowboys.
Well, you must be a happy camper after that.
Yes,
But
sir.
I guess my second one for you. Can you win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott?
I believe so.
Get out of
I
here.
see the Emmitt Smith jersey in the background, so we should have knew that answer. Next.
The Jets.
I mean, listen, I don't believe in curses, but I saw 3 people today in school today, and they were just like, the Jets are cursed. But here's the thing. Do you believe in Zach Wilson?
I honestly do. Yeah, as long as he just gets the ball to the guys that need to get the ball.
And Coach?
Giants, but I only root for one team, baby. It's the Golden Bears.
There you go. So we don't even need to follow up.
All right. This time we can go quick, right around. Super Bowl winner. Your prediction. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
Sean.
49ers.
Joe Burn, the Bengals.
All right. Favorite meal in Lyndhurst? Favorite place? You have one meal you can go to in Lyndhurst to get a meal. Where are you going?
I don't know. I think about Roddy. You're up.
Oh,
Vinny's
come
Mills.
on, Herm.
Vinny's Mills in Lyndhurst.
It's got to be Fushini's chicken parm slice.
Ooh.
See,
Coach.
these guys don't know. You got to go to Angelo's, baby. You get a little.
We
Sure.
never went to Angela's.
No.
That's on Ridge Road, right?
Yeah, if you're gonna go to dinner, but if you want to get a nice sandwich, you got to, Michael Salumeria, and I cannot give love to Joe Villa at Villa Italia.
Okay.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. All right, guys. Your favorite athlete of all time?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jason Witten.
Jordan.
This one's tough for me, man. Favorite athlete of all time. Oh, Sean just took Jordan. I got it. Oh, man. All right. You ready for this one? This is going to be a good one. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but Charles Oliveira, UFC.
Oh,
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Anthony
Guy came
Pizzuti.
from nothing, man. Guy came from nothing, and he's a fighter and he's a killer. Love him.
Couple of comments. Anthony Pizzuti. Rogers needs to be put in bubble wrap. Justin Grasso saying Fushini's on Ridge Road. I got one for Coach from Keith Brugman in Montana.
Sure.
Pre-game superstition.
Pre-game superstition. There's a couple, but I blast music in the office and talk to nobody for the most part. And I'm always
Polls,
the last-
Coach. Splitting the polls.
What?
Splitting the polls. Don't split the polls.
Oh, we never split poles. That's life. That's life. We can't split the poles when we're walking. But definitely when we're away, I'm always the last one out of the locker room in the office and out of the building. But for home games, it's just, sitting in my office and, banging my head against the wall, listening to music and telling everyone to leave me alone.
Kenny Kirkpatrick, a friend, saying nobody picked Bruno's, huh?
Now, Bruno's is still good, but it's not what it was.
Danny Kisak, great work, boys. These kids make being a coach so much fun. Cameron Werner saying Lyndhurst Pizza. Dylan saying Villa. And Gio Malay saying Jimmy Johnson. Gail
Jimmy Johnson, that's NASCAR, right, Kurt? He's talking NASCAR, Jimmy Johnson.
Hey, okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Big Herm's a big
Gail-
NASCAR guy.
Gail LK saying go Bears. All right, my last one. I need real quick.
Sure.
10 seconds. Best impression. Best impression or impersonation, really.
Yeah.
I said the word wrong. Of Coach Twirl or another coach on staff. Real quick. You're not going to get in trouble for this, too. This is on air live.
No, you
They got,
set me up.
listen, they got
Set me up.
They got it all. I know they do because they comment it all the time, and I read that. So let's see what you got, Big Herm.
There's too many to choose from. You can't just.
Just watch your mouth.
I know. I don't know. Roddy, you go. I'll come back. I'll do it last time.
Sean.
I got to shout out the Brita filter.
That's Coach DeRico. Go ahead, Herm. What do you got?
I don't know. Like Coach Rod always says, we're gonna light up that scoreboard like a pinball machine. But that's really all I got because everything else is like bleep 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 bleep. So
Ayo Vic getting the 3 technique.
Hey, I like that one.
Coach Twiro, you want to impersonate someone on your staff?
Yeah, anybody on your staff?
Or one of them?
No, I don't want to. I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm not doing it.
We'll give you a pass. We'll give you a pass.
I thought somebody would just say anybody seen Richie because I haven't said that pretty much, not that much, but it's all right.
All right, my last one, guys. Your pregame music preference. What are you listening to pregame?
whatever's on the speaker. I don't really listen to music, so whatever's blasting.
I'm always listening to rap, but more old school rap like Eminem, Kanye West.
Well, actually, a superstition of mine is I don't listen to any music before the game. I usually sit outside the locker room when they have the speaker going. So yeah, I don't listen to any music.
Pearl Jam, baby.
Yeah, Coach
Nice,
said that
nice, yeah.
he's blasting it pregame. So
Yep.
Pearl
All right.
Jam.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was an absolute pleasure to have you. We appreciate your time. We know, Coach, how busy you are. You're still in the locker room. Guys, as student athletes, we know how jam-packed your schedule is as well. So thank you for coming on. And, of course, good luck to you the rest of the season.
good luck versus Cresskill this week.
Let's
Thank
go, baby.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Appreciate you
much.
guys. Kurt, let
Thank
me
you,
know.
guys. I definitely will.
Want to do a game day? I'm ready for you, man. We'll set it up.
Absolutely. We would love to do it.
We
Let's
will
go.
be in touch, Coach.
We'll hopefully
Yes,
it's
thank you,
hey,
guys. Appreciate
again,
you.
we don't look ahead, Coach, but in 2 weeks, hopefully we're there.
I love it. I love it. Appreciate you guys. Thank you
All
so
right, guys,
much.
have a good night.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
guys.
Thanks so much.
Okay, Jen, Lyndhurst Golden Bears undefeated 2-0.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of these kids with experience from last year, and now it's paying off. And like Coach said, this team, not just the 1 year, for the next couple years, 80 kids in the program. I mean, that's a lot of kids to be having in your program.
You know what? There were just so many things that he said, that I think just, talking about that 2019 championship, that I think it was Roddy, I think was the one who was,
Part
I'm
of
gonna use the
that.
term
He was
part of
there
it, right?
around it.
So it's one thing to know the history, but they already feel like part of it. And that's just, and Coach said, it's a culture, and it's so nice to see and to hear him talk about his players, not just as players, but as people, and call them good humans, and it just, you can just tell it's like the family type of atmosphere in his program, which is great.
And you know what? Just like Kenny kind of asked that question, as an offensive coordinator for all those years, it's so nice when you bring an offense back and they're going to bring them back again.
Oh,
So now that
yeah.
those kids got when sophomore, especially as a quarterback, right? You're, sophomore quarterback, you're learning a varsity game. Now it's a whole nother level. So now, hey, you can bring more stuff. And this team's physical, right? Like they're saying they want to run the ball. So they want to run the ball, sets up play action. And listen, what do we always say on the shows? It's run the ball, play defense. Listen, it's not going to be 82 in December. It's going to be 20 degrees, 30 degrees. You have to run the ball. You have to play defense, hit your shots. And I'm telling you, this team in the NJIC, they're going to be a force. Not just this year, going forward.
Another thing he said that just speaks to the character of his players is how he had some kids who were captains as sophomores, and like he said, it's just the type of people that they are. So sometimes I just feel like when you have that familial feel and those types of players, like it's kind of the magic that happens. So I know it's their goal and to get that championship again, and I really do hope they achieve it. So thanks again to them and good luck as well.
Okay, so we got some results from again, we're going to get into our weekly picks. We're going to do a little quick hitter picks, but then we're going to get into our weekly picks where Kenny, you and I make that, we make our picks. But let's talk about last week a little bit. Okay. We got a couple of quick hitters from last week.
Okay.
I want to start with, who was your disappointment last week?
All right, let me get my notes here. Sorry. I want to make sure I don't miss who. All right. You know what? It was a little hard to pick a disappointment. I had like a couple teams I was going with. When you say disappointment, can I pick two?
Sure.
Can I give two?
Sure. I'm not going to stop. You're going to pick two anyway. Why are you even asking me?
Well, no, if you said no, maybe I would have picked one. I'm going to go with, I have St. Peter's Prep as a disappointment. I just feel like, I don't know. they're playing with the big boys every week, and I don't know how much longer we're going to stay as a state ranked team. You gotta get a win
Yep.
there somehow.
Yeah.
And I was a little surprised with the Bosco score. Getting shut out.
Okay.
I was expecting more. So those would be my two disappointments.
Okay. I'm going to go Wayne Hills.
Okay.
0-3, but listen, I coached in it, right? One of, if not the best rivalries, Ramapo, Wayne Hills, and listen, it was ugly, and you can't be losing games 49-0 and stuff like that. So, little Wayne Hills, a great tradition. They're a little down right now, so I'm going to sing Wayne Hills. Who was your surprise last week?
I'm going to go with Old Tapan as my surprise over Northern Highlands. Again, we keep talking about Northern Highlands as the team that you kind of choose because, hey, you until they show you can't. But I was a little surprised by the I'm just double checking the score here. The lopsided victory, right? It was 28-7, I think it was. I'm having trouble looking at my notes here. My apologies. Glasses left at school today, so I'm leading the line. I am a mess. They have their wide receiver Evan Brooks with 8 receptions for 132 yards. I'm going to say that they were my team of the week. Old Tapan.
Kenny's saying as a disappointing Bergen Catholic, not losing, but the way they did, and also allowing receiver to get 300. Kenny's going Old Tapan as well as a surprise, and guess who else is? Me. Because we've been saying, hey, it's, Northern Highlands. They're listen, they haven't lost, right? So they always find the way to win. They went into Northern Highlands on Friday, was up 21-0. I do believe it was 28-7 or 28-14. I'm not sure what the final was, but up 21-0. Old Tapan is for real to go into Northern Highlands and win. They're my surprise. Who's your team of the week?
Well, it's funny. I had Old Tapan again for that same reason. I know they were kind of like my surprise team. I also picked that as my team of the week. And Pope John, over Paramus Catholic. We kind of had Paramus Catholic kind of like climbing. And we said this would be a test for them. And Pope John rose to the occasion.
Yes, that's a good one. Cameron Warner saying studs. My team of the week is going to be Clifton. A big win, started off with a loss, bounced right back 1-1, big game at Ridgewood, quarterback making sensational plays. Again, another dual threat quarterback. I'm going to take Clifton in a big win. Now, not only that, from 0-1, now it's going to jump them back into league contention, look ahead to the state playoffs. I'm going to go Clifton. And your most dominant.
Well, it's funny. You mentioned who did you mention? Oh, you mentioned Wayne Hills as your disappointment.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I have 3 teams that I was trying to decide between for a dominant performance, and Ramapo was one of them.
Okay.
I had predicted that just based on that rivalry, it would be a little closer game. And I mean, if you want to use the word dominant, I mean, Ramapo just dominated Wayne Hills. But Westwood and Park Ridge also had dominant performances. Yep. All strong programs, right? But again, dominated their opponents.
Yeah. Kenny's saying you beat me to it. He's also saying Clifton. And again, please guys, keep watching. We are going to make our weekly picks. Lyndhurst will be on the schedule. He's saying New Jersey, DePaul. My most dominant is just like you said, Park Ridge. I mean, 38-0 at Woodridge. Listen, Woodridge has been in every game the past 2 years. I mean, this team in NJIC, they're dominant. They have one of the best running games. Is the quarterback Cole Hughes. They're again we'll get into it more, but this running game is insane. 6 rushing touchdowns last week. So far I'm going to say Park Ridge is my most dominant win last week.
Before we move on to week 3, I just want to update our standings with you, myself, and Kenny. Kurt has pulled into the lead at 31-27, and Kenny, you and I are tied for second at 28-20. So we really got to close that gap. Chip away, Kenny. We got to chip away. All right.
So let's do some quick hitters. All right.
Some week 3 games that aren't part of our
these
slate.
are not part of our official slate, but we're going to just pick them with a quick comment on it. Okay, I will start, Jen. We're going to go Ferris at Kearney. I'm going to give Kearney a little love, hometown work love. Luis Rodriguez, dual threat, gets Coach John Palicano his first victory at Kearney. I'm taking Kearney over Ferris.
All right, I agree with you. I'm picking Kearney in that one as well. I'm going to go to a winless team as well, a surprising winless team. I'm going to talk about the Irvington at Columbia game. Irvington goes in as a surprising 0-2. I think they get their first win under their belt.
I'm with you. I think tougher schedule and a little desperation this week. Irvington gets the win.
Who do you have next?
Game number 2 for me on the quick hitter. I'm going to take Paramus Catholic at Chaminade. No, Kenny, not Chaminade, Florida. This is Chaminade, New
A
York.
different Chaminade.
Chaminade, New York. Listen, again, Coach Russo over there had a chance to be 3-0. Tough loss to Pope John. He's turned that team around. And the running duo of Achilles DuPont and Xavier Williams gets Coach Russo and the Paladins win number 3.
I'm going to agree with you. I actually have not picked Paramus Catholic yet this season, right? I was, a lot of changes, a lot of things going on there, and I did pick Pope John last week to kind of in a mini little upset, but I think Paramus Catholic gets back on track.
Kenny with the comment night saying, thank goodness that it's not Chaminade,
Yeah,
Florida.
for Paramus Catholic's sake, right? All right, I am going to kind of piggyback off of the out-of-state opponents, and I am going to go with the DePaul versus Archbishop of
Stepanak.
I want to make sure I pronounce that correctly, in New York. Listen, I'm giving much love to Coach Campanelli at DePaul and his awesome defense. I think that they're going to, even though they're traveling to New York, I think he comes home with the victory.
Yeah, defense again after a tough loss. But hey, watch Nolan James transfer from Bosco 2 weeks in a row, over 100 yards rushing. Again, when you say the triplets of a quarterback, wide receiver, and running back, they have it, and plus a great defense. I'm with you. I'm going to Paul.
All right, your next one.
My next one is, I'm all over the board here, so I'm not sure. I'm on number 3. I'm going to go Garfield, Rutherford. Listen, this one can get ugly. Hope not. Listen, Ryan Ward from Rutherford, Division I athlete. This kid does it all. I'm going to say Rutherford big.
I'm going Rutherford as well. I think it's going to be a little lopsided victory there. I'm going to go over to another undefeated team, Ramapo. We've got Sparta at Ramapo, and I think Ramapo, Sparta, good team, very good, solid program, but I think Ramapo is going to continue to roll.
Yeah, I think Landon DePrima, if you haven't seen him, watch him. The next great is another great Ramapo quarterback. I think he lights it up at home, and they beat Sparta pretty easy. Next one, I am going to go St. Joe's of Montvale, just coming off of a victory yesterday. Game got postponed, so and it actually got called Bosco 21-0. Travel to St. Anthony's in New York. Listen, this offense is loaded from St. Joe's. Patrick Gressler, 11 for 12, 229 with a touchdown the other day. I'm going St. Joe's.
I am too. I know we say it every week. They just, they play a monster schedule, and then they schedule the out-of-state opponent. Again, Coach Campanelli at Bergen Catholic, I give him so much credit for taking his team down to Florida. I know it wasn't the victory they hoped for, but I just give these teams so much credit for continue to, in addition to the schedule they play in state, right? What they do for their kids out of state just to get them to that next level. But I'm going St. Joe's as well. My next one is this is the Morris County. I think Kurt put this one on the schedule for me. I used to coach at Montville. We've got 3-0 Mountain Lakes at 2-0 Morristown. This is a tough one. I'm going to be honest. Mountain Lakes, smaller school, but historically good in so many sports, right? I'm going with Morristown. I don't know enough about the two teams. I'm going on the sheer size and number, bigger school.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Mountain Lakes. Tradition, they're always there. I believe they're a Group 1 school. They're always there come state sectional time. I think they go on the road and get a tough win this week over Morristown.
All right.
My next one is going to be St. Peter's Prep, who you mentioned before, at Del Barton. I think Del Barton just wears them down. St. Peter's is not the same St. Peter's. They had athletes all over the place last year, a little down. I'm going to take Del Barton, wearing them down in a lower scoring physical game. I think Del Barton's more physical, so I'm going to give them the victory.
Kenny's adopted team a few years ago. My good friend and ex-coaching colleague, Coach Gallagher, part of the coaching staff there. I'm going Del Barton as well. My next one is is it John's?
St.
Joe's. I can't read your handwriting. Prep of Pennsylvania at Bosco. Listen, I'm going to go back on my Bosco bandwagon. I think they bounce back. You
know what, Jen? I'm going to go the other way. Just something doesn't look right at Bosco. You had to you played Saturday. You had to wait to come back on Monday, go back. Is that a physical day, or is that technically your day off? Now we got to come, they are home. I'm going to take St. Joe's Prep.
All right, who do you have next?
My last one, I believe, is not my last one. Oh, I got Ramsey at Bergenfield. Listen, Ramsey won for 140 in a loss last week. I think they go for over 200 yards rushing this week. Coach Bear, you get victory number 1.
Agree. First victory on the board for Ramsey. My last one for me is 3-0 Lakeland at 1-1 Passaic Valley. I think Lakeland's just going to be a little too much for them. I'm going to go Lakeland.
Yeah, I do. Again, I think a lot of people, and us too, sometimes we don't give Lakeland the credit. It's like Lakeland will fall, and they have it. And you know what? I think they go into PV this week, they get a tough victory, and they show maybe us and a lot of others that this team is really for real. My last one, 0-2 Wallington at 1-2 Woodridge. Look, this is another team, wrong place, wrong time. Woodridge coming off a horrible loss, big time loss to Park Ridge. Wallington's got it. They get them at home. James Masucci, big game in the air, on the ground. I think Woodridge gets back on track with a very big victory.
All right. I agree. You just said it right there. Back on track. Coach Catrona is going to have those kids, ready to go. Was it Park Ridge last week?
Yes.
Right. That they lost to?
Yes.
Avenge their revenge. So I think that Coach Catrona is going to get his kids back on track. Can I borrow your pen for this segment?
Sure.
Because now we're going to roll into
Our official picks.
Here's
our official picks.
All right. So here is our slate of games for week 3. All right, starting off, and I'm going to go with Kenny's first, then I'll give you mine, and then Kurt, you'll round us up.
Okay.
We've got Sea Caucus at Beckton. Kenny's predicting Beckton by a score of 23-7. Beckton goes to 3-0 with a solid performance. I got Beckton as well. Kurt?
Yeah, I'm taking Beckton. 2 in a row, back home versus Sea Caucus. Quarterback Jonathan Palsy last week. 136 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns. I think another big game for the Beckton ground game. I'm going to take Beckton to get to 3-0.
All right, and our next matchup is 2-1 Bergen Catholic at 0-2 Seton Hall Prep. Kenny is picking Bergen Catholic by a score of 38-20. He's saying the Hall keeps it close for a half. I'm picking Bergen Catholic as well. I just think that you travel to Florida. I'm going to use the word they get embarrassed, right? But that's not. They got things in New Jersey to accomplish still, and they're getting back on track in this game.
And listen, like you said, they gave up 61 points, and this Jeremiah Smith from Chaminade Madonna, 16 catches, 316 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's not for the year, Jen. That's what he did in 3 quarters the other night. I mean, Ohio State commit, the kid's sick. But listen, Quincy Porter didn't. Showed pretty damn good over there too. A sensational receiver there. 6 catches, 152 with 2 touchdowns. But you know what, Jen? Just like you said, they're going to come back, feel, quote unquote, we played bad, embarrassed. This is a game you really don't want to be Seton Hall Prep. This is still, St. Joe's might have a say in this about the best team, but they're one of the top 3 teams in the state. They bounce back. Coach Campanelli gets them to bounce back, and they win big at Seton Hall Prep.
All right.
Mark Calderio. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Valente.
Hello.
By the way, Mark,
Fairlawn
Fairlawn is on the pick screen tonight.
Yeah, make sure you're watching. All right, our next matchup is Pitt's 2-0 Butler versus 1-2 St. Mary's. We have Kenny picking St. Mary's by a score of 20-14. He said that they'll upset Butler at home. Listen, we've had Coach Johnson on. We did our live pregame from St. Mary's. There's good things happening there. I think Butler is just has a little too much, maybe a little deeper than St. Mary's. They've got maybe St. Mary's might have the best athletes on the field, top athletes on the field, but I think Butler is going to be a little stronger all around. I think St. Mary's is another year away, so I'm going to go Butler on this one.
Again, St. Mary's is another year away from really, truly contending for everything. But by the way, I want to give Coach Johnson and obviously Coach Sheridan sat with us for a little bit on the all-in game day, so give both of them a shout out. And we were at that game, Jen, and we watched the rest of that game. And listen, Hawthorne's for real. They got 13 or 14 seniors. Hawthorne's a very physical team. And St. Mary's went toe-to-toe with that team again.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is, like you're saying, a year away, St. Mary's shot themselves in the foot, bad snap later on, couple penalties while they were driving late in the game. Gave the kickoff to the kid Cormac Smith from Hawthorne. But I'm still going to drink the Kool-Aid here. If this was at Butler, I'm going Butler. But at home, again, week for week, I think, listen, it's going to be tough because Butler's a very good team. But you know what? I'm going to take St. Mary's in the upset here.
And I just got to give Coach Johnson shout out again because what he's doing, the feeling at the field, it's palpable. Like you can feel it. It's exciting. So continued good luck to him there. The next one is 1-2 Eastside at 2-1 Clifton. Kenny has Clifton by a score of 27-21. He says his quote is Clifton in a slugfest. I'm choosing Clifton as well to advance to 3-1. How about you?
Yeah, Strobel ran for 117 last week. The quarterback, I don't know if I want to make sure I'm saying his name right. Tobles. Again, talk about dual threat. This is one of the best dual threats in this area. And I just think that combination is going to be too much. Not an easy game because, hey, I think Eastside upset him a couple years ago. And I think St. Mary's, Clifton came back from a major deficit to beat them in that sectional final. Closer than a lot of people think, but I think Clifton at home gets the win.
All right, in our next game, we have 0-1 Harrison at 1-2 Elmwood Park. Kenny is picking Elmwood Park by a score of 20-12. He's saying that they'll even the record out at 500. I agree. I'm giving the edge to Elmwood Park here over Harrison. And how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go Elmwood Park, and our good friend Coach Mulligan got the victory, back on track last week. They ran for almost 300 yards last week. They're back home. Jesse Schwartz is the guy to look forward to. 175 yards last week, 2 touchdowns. I think the running game prevails again, and they win 2 in a row.
Again, props to Coach Mulligan for scheduling again in the week 0 and week 1, if I'm not mistaken, some out of conference opponents again to catch his. I think that's going to give his kids an edge come conference time. Would you agree?
Yes.
Alrighty. Our next matchup is 2-0 Pascack Hills. Here it is, Mr. Calderio at 1-0 Fairlawn. Kenny is picking Pascack Hills by a score of 20-17. He's saying they're going to win it late in the 4th. I have Pascack Hills as well. How about you?
Yeah, this is like a big, Fairlawn's been down a little bit, but I think, big win for 1 week. I think nice crowd this week. They're feeling Fairlawn's coming back a little bit. Again, very prideful, traditional football town there. But I'm going to take Pascack Hill. Mark's saying Fairlawn wins 20-14. Do I could change my pick? I can't. I got to go Pascack Hills. Very close. Connor Onikian, 2 touchdowns passing last week, 122 rushing yards. I'm going to take I'm going to take Pascack Hills in a very close game.
All right, our next one is Hasbrook Heights at Park Ridge. Hasbrook Heights comes in at 1-1. Park Ridge undefeated at 2-0. Kenny has Park Ridge by a score of 34-13, saying Park Ridge rolls. I agree. I just think they're going to be the better team on the field right now. So I'm going Park Ridge myself.
Listen, this team ran for 361 yards last week at a tough Woodridge team. Again, Cole Yu is one of the best quarterbacks in North Jersey. 147, 3 touchdown. Running back Luke McPhee ran for 162. I mean, we watched this team for St. Mary's. This team's good, man. This team is, I know you got a couple. You got Lyndhurst undefeated. You got Rutherford undefeated. But I don't know. Right now you might have to put them on the top of the NJIC. And Heights is gonna. Heights last week ran for 175, but I just think way too much at home. I think Park Ridge sends another message to this conference that they're the best team in this conference.
All right, next we move on to 2-0, a battle of the undefeateds. 2-0 Pompton Lakes at 2-0 Hawthorne. Kenny is picking Pompton Lakes by a score of 27-23. Pompton Lakes wins a close one, and I have Pompton Lakes as well in this one. How about you?
Yeah, we knew Pompton Lakes, again, a little down last year. Started season 2-0, and we knew Hawthorne had a lot of seniors coming back. And when we were doing our all-in game day at St. Mary's, we saw Hawthorne come out, and we were just like, man, like those guys are like ripped. These kids look
like
mature.
Seniors,
they look like seniors, And if you got to check this kid out, Cormac Smith from Hawthorne, he does everything: kick returns, plays defense, running back. They get him the ball in space. I think he's the difference. 100 yards last week. Too much for Pompton. Pompton, again, another team, maybe a year away, but Hawthorne at home, senior leadership. I'm going to take Hawthorne.
All righty. All right, we are moving on to our guests of the week. We've got our next matchup is 2-0 Lyndhurst at 1-1 Cresskill. Kenny's picking Lyndhurst by a score of 23-13. Lyndhurst wins impressively on the road. We had Coach Tuero and the boys on tonight. I had already picked Lyndhurst, but after listening to Coach Tuero and listening to those kids, 100% Golden Bears.
What have I said on the air 2 weeks in a row? Watch out for this Bellinger Moreno combination, quarterback, running back. Bellinger's doing a great job. Dual threat. Not only last week, 139 yards through the air, 44 rushing, Moreno 117, and these guys got tons of receivers. You know, we just mentioned Cameron Warner, touchdown receptions, but they got tons of receivers, like Coach was saying, that opens up the play action. Cresco had in a muddy, rainy game, get their first win at Garfield. But I don't know. I just think this is a mismatch, man. I just think this Lyndhurst team focused. We keep joking around, and hey, maybe we will be doing an all-in game day, setting up that Waldwick Lyndhurst game. But I think Coach Twirl and that staff's going to have them laser focused. I think they ripped through Cresskill and set that up where Waldwick Lyndhurst in 2 weeks for that division title. I'm going Lyndhurst.
All right, our next matchup is 2-1 Montville at 1-2 Parsippany Hills. Kenny's picking Montville by a score of 28-15. First time saying it this year. Go Jenny Hoops. Well, you know what, Kenny? You can see I was going back and forth. I changed my mind. You know what? I had Montville because they're near. I do bleed green. I bleed a little red and white for West Essex, green for Montville. But you know what? I think Joey Cicatelli on Parsippany Hills is going to go. Is might be a little hard to stop. So I'm going Parsippany Hills on this one.
Yeah, you did a great job of cheating on me today. That's what happens when you're in first place. You kind of copy all my notes.
Oh my God,
Jake,
I got the inside scoop.
Listen,
on the Cicatelli.
Listen, yeah. Jake, I know we always talk about run the ball, play defense. That's how you win championship, and I truly believe it. But Friday night, it's going to be nice, right? No wind. It's still early on. Jake Simone and Joseph Cicatelli, that combination's been lighting it up. I'm going at home, upset, Jen, Parsippany Hills.
No way. You're calling it an upset.
I am.
Alrighty. Our next matchup is 1-1 Ridgewood at 2-1 Northern Highlands. Kenny has Northern Highlands by a score of 34-20. Highlands bounces back. Oh, a little alliteration here. Highlands bounces back big time. Alrighty, and I agree, Kenny. That's why I'm picking them as well. I think that again, they're at home. It's not going to be an easy game against Ridgewood, but I do think that they are going to bounce back. So I got Highlands as well.
Yeah, Coach Cord, coaching against his former team where he took on as the interim coach, won a state title there. And again, I'm going to be honest, I was a little shocked that Old Tappan, and listen, Coach Dunn over there is a phenomenal coach at Old Tappan, but I was a little shocked that they got beat at home Friday night. And I think they bounced back. Nate Johnson is the kid to watch on offense for Northern Highlands, but I think Coach Cord and that defensive staff shut down the run game from Ridgewood. They bounce back. Northern Highlands gets back on track.
All right. I have our next game as 2-0 Pascack Valley at 2-0 Old Tappan. We're going to lose some undefeated teams this week. So Kenny is picking Pascack Valley by a score of 23-21, saying that Old Tappan will suffer a hangover after a big win. That's a good point, Kenny, because that's sometimes big. But I'm going to stick on the Old Tappan bandwagon. I had them as one of my most impressive teams last week, so I'm picking Old Tappan. Yeah,
again, you go into Northern Highlands, and we kept saying that team, it's very hard to beat that team. And they were dominant, up 21-0 early in that third quarter, and they just put the game away. Alex Orecchio, again, we were saying, I believe first year starting as quarterback, to over 200 yards passing, 85 rushing with a touchdown, and their defense was lights out against Highlands. I think, I think Old Tappan is just the better team, so I'm going to go with Old Tappan.
All right, in our next matchup, we have 1-1 West Orange at 3-0 PCTI. Kenny's picking PCTI by a score of 34-20, saying that they will stay undefeated. I agree. I think they stay undefeated as well, PCTI.
Yeah, very close game. West Orange, they always played pretty good games. West Orange is a very tough team. PCTI at home with the Dye brothers. But difference this week, Makeo Taylor through the air. West Orange, I say they try to stop the running game. He makes some big plays through the air. I'm going to take PCTI.
All right, in our next matchup, we have 2-0 Waldwick, who we keep kind of previewing a little bit here with our Lyndhurst guests, at 1-1 New Milford. Kenny is picking New Milford by a score of 21-14. He's calling that his upset of the week. I think Waldwick's going to travel to New Milford and be victorious. Who do you have?
Yeah, I just think they're going to be way too much for New Milford, and that sets it up Once Lyndhurst takes care of Cresskill, Waldwick takes care of New Milford. You got Waldwick going to Lyndhurst for that league championship. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take it pretty lopsided. Waldwick over New Milford.
And our last game of the week that we're picking on our slate has 0-3 Wayne Valley traveling to 1-2 West Essex. Two teams that have traditionally strong programs that have had a little rough start this so far this season. I'm picking West Essex, though, at home to be victorious over Wayne Valley. Oh, I missed Kenny's pick. I'm sorry. Let me get to Kenny's here. Oh, he's got West Essex by a score of 14-13. And he says, second time tonight. Go Jenny Hoops. Thanks, Kenny, for picking my teams.
Did you pick yours?
I did. I said West.
Okay.
I did it backwards this time. I picked West Essex.
Yeah,
as
West
well.
Essex would have nice bounce back at home. Wayne Valley, again, every game they're playing, again, Coach Cutlar's coached against them, unbelievable coach, won sectional state titles already over there. And, they're due. I just think their defense shuts down the West Essex, the little, wing T. They shut it down. I'm going to go Coach Cutlar's in a close one to get it done defensively. And Wayne Valley gets win number 1.
All right, and there you have it. There's our picks for week 3. When you tune in next week, we'll have our results and hopefully, some other good things on the agenda as well. I want to give another thank you to.
So you don't want to do the coach thing tonight?
Oh, I forgot. I didn't prepare well.
All right, so next week.
I forgot.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to do this right now.
Okay.
Live on air.
Okay.
You're going to be Waldwick. I'm going to be Coach Twirl.
No, I don't want to do that.
All right, so we won't do that
No,
game. We won't do that game.
We'll do a different
There
game.
is our
Can't have
great
any-
friend, Robert Sauerwein, who
Oh,
we
were
were talking
just
about him
talking
tonight.
as we were
We said we got to
preparing.
get in touch with him and we got to
Yeah.
get him on air. Westwood wins the Bird Bowl, 38-7 over Riverdale. They go 4-0 for the number 1 team in Group 2.
All right.
Phenomenal. Again,
Thanks for checking in.
and we have to get him on.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
You want to talk another quarterback, you got to see this kid Carson. It's
Mhm.
just unbelievable. Coach guy over there. Hey, listen, they're going to be a problem. They're a legit team. They're going to be a problem. So next week, we won't do that. We will do it next week.
Yes,
Basically, what we're going to do.
I don't want to do it for
No,
that
what we'll
game.
do next week is I'm going to give a pep talk from one team. Jen's going to give a pep talk.
Yeah, like
so we'll pick the game.
What our pregame.
What our
speech of whoever
pregame would
the
be, not
coaches
what the
would be
coaches should say.
Right.
What we would
and
say.
not an imitation of those coaches.
Right.
No. If we were the coaches.
If we were the coach.
coaches,
So
our
we'll start
pregame
that
speech.
next week. And again, if there's anybody out there who wants to intern with us, please reach out to us.
We'd love
like
to get
like
your
Jen
show on,
said.
your team on more often and highlight your programs in your school.
Like Jen
100%.
said, we have an all in on St. Mary's show, an all in on Beckton show, an all in on West Essex show. And those shows are just dedicated to not just football, any sport in that school. Our interns are the host. We're behind the scenes, but they're the ones that will do the interviews. It's live. So again, anybody else want to reach out and say, hey, I want to start something for my school, please reach out to us and we will get that done.
Before we go, I know we mentioned our host. We mentioned Gabby. We mentioned Sophia. We mentioned Sean for our hosts. But I don't want to forget to mention Lauren, who does a lot of our social media posts. She did the Coach Tuero post tonight
And
for
Dylan.
us. I was getting there. Dylan is our stat man, and Dylan works hard. And you know what? It's fun. It's fun to have chats with him too about all the stats and everything. He's so
phenomenal job.
He did an awesome.
I mean, we
job
picked
with
30
us. Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
and listen, we can't watch 30 games,
Right,
but to
right.
help we obviously do our research, but to have him helping us
Yeah.
with our research for these
Phenomenal.
games, it was phenomenal.
Coach Tuero and your players, thank you again for joining us tonight. It was an absolute pleasure to have you, and thank you everyone for watching.
And we'll see you guys. We are doing a Friday night
Recap.
show, so we will be live Friday night, and that's it. Everybody enjoy, and see you guys next week.